Hey guys, it's Anthony here, bringing you the Roadside Chat from the road. Actually, I'm in Joplin, Missouri this week, and it's actually really nice to be out here, and it's a beautiful place. So this question comes from an officer in Alabama, and he says, "Can a subject be interviewed after invoking Miranda on a separate case by a different agency?" And so the backstory is a suspect was arrested by a neighboring department. They went in to interview him, but he said he wants to have an attorney. Now, this officer wants to give him Miranda again and interview him on a different case. And here's the answer. The answer is that according to the U.S. Supreme Court, this guy is off limits for any interview regarding any crime for 14 days post Miranda custody. All right. So this rule makes it a little bit difficult for cops to get to interview people after they invoke the right to counsel. So there's a couple things going on. Number one is this 14-day rule. The 14-day rule comes from a U.S. Supreme Court called Shaster, where they made a bright line rule. Normally Supreme Court that doesn't make bright line rules, but here they did. So it's a bright line rule that if the guy invokes the right to counsel, he's off limits for 14 days post Miranda custody. What does that mean, post Miranda custody? Well, being in Miranda custody is a totality of circumstances test that asks whether or not a reasonable person would believe custodial-like arrest exists, and the cops are asking questions which are likely to elicit an incriminating response. So that's kind of like your arrests, during the booking process and so forth. But when does a person leave Miranda-like custody? Well, if they're released from jail, certainly that is easy. If they're put into general population, we don't have a lot of court cases on this, but if they're put into general population with other inmates and they're going to be held for a while, this is not like a holding cell, but this is like their new home until they get bail money, or maybe they're just waiting trial. There's the best argument is that they are not in arrest-like custody at that point because jail is now their home. We certainly know that that prison is the person's home, and a person is not in Miranda custody while they're serving a sentence in prison. It's less clear in jail, but I think the best advice I have for you is that, let the person, if he's in general population, let him have his 14 days and then re-Mirandize him and see if he'll talk. Now, you don't need to talk to his attorney if you're talking about a different crime. But if you're talking about the same crime or any criminal any crimes that could be related to that one he's being held on, he's off limits, period, basically, until he talks, unless you have his attorney present and the attorney signs off on it. This rule sometimes has consequences that are not really logical. Like, so for example, the cop here wants to talk to a guy about a different crime, different agency, but yet he's off limits for 14 days. And so that doesn't seem really fair, because you would think that maybe he was off limits for the crime that he's been arrested for, but the U.S. Supreme Court has basically held that Miranda is not crime specific. So when the person invokes the right to counsel under Miranda, it's not crime specific. So it's really, it's game over for any crime up to that point. Now, one thing that cops do ask me constantly is, all right, Anthony, are you telling me that if I arrest him on Friday and I read him Miranda and he says he wants an attorney and he commits a new crime on Wednesday, we can't talk to him? No, because the better view is that, for most court cases, is that he's off limits for any of the crimes that up to that point that he wanted counsel. All right, look, at the end of the day, if the person wants counsel and it's during Miranda waiver process, he wants counsel, he's off limits for 14 days, basically, for any agency, any crime. Hope it helps. Keep the questions coming. Until next time, keep doing a great job out there, and guys, and stay safe. All right, I'm out.
When it comes to law enforcement training, we are the gold standard. Visit bluetogold.com or call 888-579-7796 to learn more about our training, books, and free webinars. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel.